This is a big one, and this is going to catch you every time until you catch it. There is a program, a parasite, we might say, that lives inside of human consciousness. If we're going to put it into words, it might sound something like, something is wrong. Yeah? It can be applied to the self. Something's wrong with me. I'm not enough. It could be applied to the situation. Something's gone wrong. That just means that didn't meet your expectations. That movie that your ego came up with in its mind. The movie based on scarcity and lack and fear and hope. Not the movie of living in the end. The movie of trying to manipulate out of fear your environment and the people around it. So pick up on this one thread that will liberate every form of trying to get it right, trying to fix yourself, trying to change the other person, trying to change your environment, trying to awaken, and all of those things. When they are motivated by your sense of something is wrong, this is that added thing. This is that very thing that A Course in Miracles talks about as what the Son of God forgot to laugh at. That mad idea that something in God's infinite, perfected universe is wrong. And somehow that something is you, or your partner, or this government, or that weather. None of that is true. What's true is that this packet, this idea, this parasitic virus-like belief that has entered into human consciousness, that has entered into the one expression of the infinite creator that is you. I don't know about the history. I don't know about the theology of it. All I know is that it is entirely false. And that is the very thing that is driving every form of suffering. It tells you that you have to improve upon yourself. And it leads you to want to add things to yourself, right? You look for more money, more love, more peace. You look for the more books, more lessons, more courses. You look for whatever it is that is going to somehow be added to you to make you better in the eyes of that virus that is scanning and judging you all the time, that's harassing you, that is the expression of the absence of self-love. That thing is what you are actually auditioning for. Take a moment to really let that sink in. You are auditioning for the voice of self-loathing, self-betrayal. Why? Why am I saying this? Think about your true self, which is an extension of the infinite creator. Do you think that there is anything in the mind of the infinite creator that is self-attacking, that is self-diminishing, that is seeing, witnessing that something is wrong? No. No. How could there be? How could that be a truth of oneness? That can only be a truth of perception. And so, is your perception pure? In other words, do you see life through the eyes of love, or let's say, as a concession, forgiveness? Or are you seeing life through the eyes and the filter of judgment, of that voice that's instructing you to continuously fix, change, manipulate, control yourself and the people around you so that you can finally what? So you can finally what? And it's using that inherent sense of greatness that I know you know. You feel it, just as I feel it, just as every single being feels it. There is a greatness that wants to emerge. You know that behind anything that you have seen so far of yourself is a more that is seeking expression, right? More love, more peace, more joy. But these are not the added things. These are not things that you take from the world out there through substances or injections or hormone replacement therapy or peptides or anything like that. There's nothing from out there that will ever reveal to you more peace. There's things in there that will temporarily quell that voice. Those are the various substances, plant medicines, I'm sure maybe other forms of medicines. things that can suppress the default mode network and give you a respite from that voice. And you suddenly see, oh, I'm feeling more peace, more joy, more love. This is amazing. I should hit that again. Wait a second. Really pay attention to what's true. What is emerging when you suppress the default mode network, when you suppress the lower states of consciousness through, I don't know, like some form of substance? What happens is that what's emerged in that moment is the natural, inherent self, the quality that you've always held within you. You're suddenly starting to see that come through. So, what's the solution? Is the solution to add more things? Is the solution to keep seeking out in the world and trying to finally get the right configuration, align all those dang ducks so that the weather is right and the person is right and the job is right and the amount of money is right and the body, oh, the body, it looks just right. I'm going to max out my looks so they're just perfect. Really? That's what you're going to line up. And when you do, what are you going to find? Think about what you'll find because you've been there before. You have already taken that journey. You've already learned that lesson. You've already lined those things up. And you know what's behind that door. That voice says, but maybe there's just like one little ingredient that I didn't quite have. And if I just nail that one, well, then I'm going to have the thing, right? The completion, the fulfillment, the wholeness. Fool me once, shame on you. But fool me 10,000 times. I'm not saying shame on you. I'm not saying shame on me. I'm saying let's wake up from this spell, from this illusion, this hypnotic intrusion into the perfected mind, the self whom God created perfect. This idea that something is wrong is the idea that gets you to chase. But the solution to this problem is simply recognition. It's realization, to see with your real eyes reality. Not through the dream character's eyes to see appearances and judge by the appearances and continue to do so ad infinitum, exhausting yourself, keep on grasping for bits of illusion, thinking that they are valuable, and then looking at seeing how it dissolves in your hands. That's not what it is. It is challenging the idea that something's wrong as it comes to you in the moment and drops into your mind, and you start reacting and you start protecting, you start trying to chase something or get away from something, and the whole circuit of aversion and attachment kicks in, and now you're on this treadmill. Stop right there and ask yourself, is anything wrong in the eyes of God? Has anything in this moment, is there any real evidence that something is happening that should not be happening? It's almost like watching a movie, right? When you sit in the theater, you sit on your couch and you're watching this movie unfold. You're not trying to manipulate, control, or fix or change the movie. You just allow the artistry of that movie to unfold. And you know that downside of the negative emotion, that thing that you keep trying to get away from? That is simply another aspect of the movie. Now, when you think about, oh, maybe that shouldn't be happening, what is actually happening in this moment is that there is a like a stirring up, similar to if you had a glass full of water and at the bottom there was sediment or mud, and you're stirred up and suddenly it all looks really messy, right? But that mud was always there. And it's the same thing with us. Throughout our journey, we've accumulated these impressions, these, what the Buddhists call the sanskaras, right? These impressions, these, we might call them traumas or PTSDs. And as we navigate through life, boom, we hit one and it activates. And as it activates and it starts to fire and that stirs it all up, well, now we're trying to run around the world and try to change something in the world to fix that. But that stirring up is happening inside. It is the thing that you already accepted into yourself and recorded into your own consciousness through the impressions, most likely through childhood, maybe other lifetimes. I don't know anything outside this lifetime, but what I can tell you real clear is that almost everything that you are afraid of has nothing to do with the present moment. It has only to do with those impressions from our childhood in which certain form of meaning was crystallized and certain degrees of protection and threat awareness were formed, and then that program's just running. And it's totally okay. That is not an indication that anything at all has gone wrong. It is actually a beautiful indication that you are now in a moment where true transmutation is possible. That is a topic for another video, but I want to really land this one as we sign off here now, that nothing has ever gone wrong. Your path, your path that you're walking on in life is paved by infinite intelligence in concert with your highest self. There is no um, wrongness about it. Just like any adventure that you can ever think of has its ups and downs and challenges. There is no adventure that's like this straight flat line, right? You don't watch a movie with a straight flat line. You don't take an adventure. You don't want a conversation like that. Nothing in you wants that. And so you have this experience where your highest self, where the Holy Spirit, where the infinite intelligence of God has created for you this particular journey for you to enjoy and learn from and experience the thrill of your life. And so, what's left to do? What's left to do? But to breathe, to enjoy. And as those moments come up, I'm going to share something with you. As those moments come up in which you feel challenged, in which you feel tension and contraction, what do? You take a deep breath and you release. You take a deep breath like tension and you release. And as you do this a few times, you're going to notice coming back to consciousness. And as you do, question, right? Question, is this true? Is this thought true? Is this thought that this person, that thing, this thing, da da da, it all should be the way that it's telling me it should? Is that true? Is that absolutely true? With the certainty of God, I know that that's true. And if not, let's drop it. Let's choose peace instead of this. Let's choose to accept and meet the moment as it is, no matter what someone is saying, no matter what someone is doing. If you're unsafe, you're going to notice that there's an impulse in your body to protect yourself, to get away. Do that. But don't do that just in your mind, in loops for years and exhausting and depleting yourself. Okay? So that's all I want to share with you today. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you here again next week.